Okay, I'm recording it. Anyway, I put Apple, and this is the old data we're gonna get rid of. The only reason I'm still keeping it because I want to show that our data is better than their data, the way they're collecting it. I gave an example last time. And this is the whole mechanism we collect data. We're trying to find out if we can write a patent. By the way, I just got a message. There's two companies that have written a patent how to organize data, but I'm not sure they are the same as ours. And fortunately, I know their technology, so I will talk about it some other time. But we're really going in a really nice direction. By the way, this is a very big company involved here. I think I mentioned Ernst& Young. Brenda, you met Daniel. He's a very serious guy. Very, very serious.
Yeah.
He's a very high position in Ernst& Young. So he just found two patents that look similar to ours. I don't think so. I will take a look at them later on. Fortunately, I know exactly the business intelligence methodology they're using. That's something, Liam, you should know. And and I haven't seen them. The truth of the matter is they try to take the XBRL, which is an XML format, and turn it to a cube in a database. It's really one to one. It's very easy to do. But that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to do much more than that. We're trying to compare companies to put them on the same dimension. As when we get there, I will explain what I mean. Okay, we're trying to compare companies in different years to themselves and to other companies, and that's not the trivial. I don't think that's what they do. This one looks much more serious, by the way. This one looks much more serious, but the idea is that you have a database of XBRL that should be the SEC. They have a matching, a mapping network, and then they get the results to the client. And now you have to really go and study what I have done. Fortunately, I'm very familiar with all this stuff. It's not this they're describing the problem, just can't imagine. That's what I'm telling you. Real life is not that simple. It's really complex. That's called a unified dimensional model. They have entity, they have a date, they have currency, blah, 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 blah. We don't really care on the truth of the matter. The term OLAP, if you study with me business intelligence, you will know the concept OLAP. Okay, so what? Okay. And then they describe the whole things and then they start saying that what they can do. So far, beautiful. In fact, they're showing real understanding of XBRL, which is beautiful. I haven't had the time yet. I want to go and see how they're collecting the data. Okay. And that's what I'm supposed to do. I didn't have the time. I will spend on it tonight, later tonight. I will get back to it. But without even diving too much, you can tell, by the way, they're talking about tables, blah, 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 dimensions, blah, blah, blah. I don't see comparables between different companies. Okay? You have the department, blah, blah, blah. The more looking and more abstract patent, I haven't seen the comparison and not the way that we, definitely not the way that we have done it. Okay? So, but definitely I have to give a very detailed answer to this guy after I will read it very deeply. Hopefully one day you'll be able to understand it. That's not easy stuff, very complex. For you, Liam, okay, this is really understanding cube. It's like an array of multidimensional. In mathematics, it's called a tensor. Michael, you might have been exposed to that. And economics, they don't. So I think we're going to start a course for the senior student of us. And if there are qualified students, I doubt, we will start the machine learning, but I will teach the machine learning in my style. And you know me already. I don't skip any stage. Okay? So it's gonna be tough. I'm aiming toward the end of the month. So you guys look at the calendar and we will start. And I'm very happy on this project because XBRL is just one example of multi-dimensional cube. In my book in 2012, almost 10 years ago, I have written that XBRL can be viewed as a cube. And what I have done, I don't know where I got this patent. I could have got the patent 10 years ago. In fact, I talked to this guy, but he didn't understand what I'm talking at the time. Now he does. You can view it as a multidimensional cube, but that's the easy part. I'll be honest, as complex as it is. What we have done, it's beautiful. It's a piece of art. So let me look at those patents, and then I will share with you. I just wanted you to keep you up. This is very serious project. This is not Fab House, Africa. It is not. This is 100 times, 1,000 times. I mean, getting a patent is a very hard process and usually involves very big companies doing it. So, but you know, the fact that they are looking into it, it tells you that there is something into it. As having said all of that, let's go back to what I was doing when you guys were talking. If you look at our, what did I do that here? Brenda, we were playing with it the other day, correct? To get the ratio analysis. Remember when we put the apple, it's getting the data. And if we're missing, we can collect the data from here, like clicking 2020. That's what you explained to Liam today. And then when you
Yes,
have all the data is being collected here. But now we want to analyze it, like what you studied in the course. Is that correct, Brenda?
correct.
If you remember in my course, I don't remember where I put it. It might be this one. Tell me if you're losing my screen because it happens all the time. Remember we studied that in the course. Then we had vertical and horizontal analysis. Okay, let me do that. Why it doesn't like me? Come on. Let me refresh it. Okay, let me go back to, we had vertical and horizontal analysis. And this one, they have done it by hand, correct? That was for the balance sheets. And there's another one, if I recall, for the income statement. Right? I think there's one, okay? Now, I want to do it automatically. It's stupid to do it by hand or do it in Excel. It really is stupid. It would be really nice when you're already, you just put Apple here, collect the data, and start doing the financial ratios. And I want, when I click here, I'll get a different screen and it will be the vertical analysis. I already started. When you click on horizontal, why didn't it like me? I thought it out. I put it away because I'm redoing it in a different way. I want to say here the horizontal analysis for balance sheets and income statement. Got it? How would you do it? There's many ways you can do it. In fact, the truth of the matter, here's the code. I just put it aside. If I put it back, it will do it. But I want to automate it. Do it even smarter than that. You know, you already want to do things smart way. And you guys have gone through these tables and you should know them by heart. Literally should know them by heart. The one without the XBRL, I'm going to remove. Okay, that was my old version. This is the new version. You have a table called valuation accounts. We have all the accounts, correct? You should know it by heart, literally. For you, Leah, And for you, Michael, and for you, Brenda, if you take away the head of finance or accounting, I talk mathematics, it's a vector. It's a long vector. You can take, this is the index of the vector, and that's the content of the vector, okay? And that's just a simple vector that for now we have only 54 members, but it could be much bigger as we go along. But that's not the vector that's holding the data. You can think about, we have a vector of 54 items. This is the index of the element in the vector. By the way, the index itself is a vector. It's a vector of an index. You can look at it. But when we want to get the data, we don't really keep it here. We don't want to either. We're keeping it to the SEC. Let him keep them. And as we go along, we'll make it more efficient. We want the matching. So we're collecting here a vector of matching. But the truth of the matter, we have a vector for industry 3571, whatever it is. But the truth of the matter, okay, this one, okay, might be even a partial vector. You know, for company, let's do 351. Let's see how many we have. We only have 36. Why do we have only 36? Because in this industry, whatever we collected data, we didn't collect data for all the items in the main vector of the 54 items. The main vector has 54 items, but when we collected data for whatever company we started, we only had that company, or the companies we collected have only 36 out of the 54 that we have. So, okay, fine. So when we started for a company in this industry, at the most we'll get 36, not necessarily. What will be happen? Let's take a company. Which company? By the way, which company is? I always forget. Which? Yeah, 351 is Apple. Okay, so this is Apple. Now you need your imagination. Apple is in this industry. So if I really want, let's keep it. Okay, because this is so important. It's not easy stuff. It's beautiful stuff. Let me go and look for Apple. Anybody see Apple here? I don't know what to do. I need to do ABC. I need to add a filter by ABC, and I do have a filter by ABC. And maybe that would be easier for me to have the, where is the ABC? I have a field called ABC, but I didn't put it. Oh, wait. Let's look for Apple. Anybody see Apple? It's hard to find it this way. I need to put a search also. I will make my life easier. Here we go. It should be around here. Apple. Anybody see Apple? Here it is. Let's click on Apple. Okay. Apple have this vector. You know, they have 18 records. But how does it build? How is it made? See, 2020, they do have 2020. So let's look at the 2020. Only the 2020. How do I need to really understand the way it works? You look at the 2020, you have 4 records only. Or you have less, in fact, the truth of the matter. Let's sort it by year so we won't get confused. You know what, even do it better. Toward the end, we have also the years. So let's focus only on the year. Okay, here we go. For Apple, we have 3 records. For the industry of Apple, let me move that one aside. For the industry, we have 36 records. Now, what's happening now? Most likely, because we used Apple as the example, those 3, they override, they are additional. Let's look at EPS, earning per share. Most likely you will not find it here. Okay, I probably have added it later on. Okay, let's go. Earning per share. Can I see earning per share? Let's organize it alphabetically. And let's see. Why it doesn't like me? Why it doesn't like me? God. Yeah, because I put that one here. Earning per share. Do you see earning per share? You don't. What does it really mean? It means that for Apple, we have 36 plus 3. That means 39. They have 39 out of the 54, which is our original vector. Got it? Everybody got it? The truth of the matter is, let me try it on my computer. It should work the way I set it up. If I go here to any one of them and click here, that should disappear. Those 3 should disappear. Yeah, they did. You go into here and you refresh, you will find out that for this industry, we really do have 39. The reason I know it because I made Apple to be my base. And the way I wrote that function here, the way I wrote this function here, when I click here, it checks if that account don't exist, it will add it. If it exists, it will not touch it. And I know I used Apple, then I know it should be probably right. So Apple don't have anything because Apple is the company I used for this one. You got it? Yeah, which company is Apple? My God, what's happening now? I love it. Because I have 2020. Yeah, I like the 2020 here. Yeah, that's good. And I shouldn't have touched Apple. So instead of Apple, I tell you what we should do. We should take another company in the same industry as Apple. Which one we had, Brenda? I forgot. Isn't a Alone, wasn't it one of them? Yeah, I think so. Okay. When you look at Alone, 2020, that's the revenue. Revenue, how is it was? That's the name that Alone, I think it's the same industry, if I'm not wrong. Let's try it, why not? Let's test it. Let's do it the right way, okay? I will do it the right way. The right way to do it, eventually, by the way, I will make a table of all those companies we already have done. Apple is electronics. If you go down electronics, you remember Brenda and computers, isn't it? Bring Apple in here. No, I was wrong. Let's look at Omnicell. Omnicell is the same industry. Yeah, I'm glad we checked. So this one is the industry 3571 and 3571. It's only 0, doesn't have a year. Okay. The industry doesn't have a year because it's only 0 here. Okay. And now when I go to the other one, let's see we got it. Let's see, we have a ratio. Yeah, very good. This company, we got the data. Let's look at his company, Omni. So instead of Alone, we don't want Alone. We want to go to Omni. So let's see, Omni, it's an all. Omni. Anybody see that? O-N should be here. Anybody? Should be here. It's annoying. I should put a search on that. Yeah, here we go. Omni, I don't see it. Omni. Come on. Here we go. Omni set. Here we go. Okay, when I click on it, this is the one we have. Look, they're all 2020. Now, do they have preferred stock? Do we have in the vector of the industry, do we have preferred stock? I don't think so. Preferred stock we don't have. I know we don't have. Okay, preferred stock we don't have. Okay, so, and really most likely none of those exist in here. Okay, so, and most goodwill, let's look at goodwill. Maybe I do have goodwill. I will be tricky. Goodwill, let's see, we have a goodwill. That should be in here. Assets. Anybody see goodwill? That's liability. It should be in the assets. No, I don't have goodwill either. That means that for 2020, Apple didn't have goodwill, but Omnicell did have goodwill. So the truth of the matter is Omnicell might have more record. But we don't really, what we really care about is we're taking the 2020 of Omnicell and putting it on the top of the industry record, and we're getting the record, the vector for Omnicell. I have done it. Okay, it works beautiful. It really does. And the code is right here. It's not easy code. It's demanding really. It's not an easy code, but it's very elegant. It really is beautiful, in fact, I would say. I enjoy writing it, in fact. Here we go. It looks simple, but it really isn't. If you look at this one, this table you should know by heart, as I said. It's the matching table. I am pulling from the matching, I am pulling a year 0, as you can tell. That means stage number 1, I am putting all the stuff that I have in the vector 0 in the same industry of the company I'm looking for, as you can tell here. So I'm transferring to it the SIC code of the industry of the company I'm interested in. I'm putting all the record of the industry, or another word. By the way, I didn't teach you the Q filtering, but you should learn it. Look it up, okay? It would be a good exercise for you. And so it's filtering this record as I did it here. I took the industry and I took 0. Okay, so I have all the record here. So this part will give me the 39 record. Good. Next, in addition, when I do the slash says or, meaning give me all of those, but if there's others in a year, which is in the years here, okay, and that's complex because I am asking him to look for all the years, basically, in which I collected data for that company. And do it only for this specific company with this ticker. So look at the company with this ticker, as I did in the second one. Right here, I showed you. I pull the company, it's by the ticker. A company has a ticker. So that's why I'm sorting all those vectors. But I'm really asking for all the years. Here, I'm only showing you, I only pulled for 20, but if I remove the filter for the 20, let's remove it, put all. That's really what I'm asking him to give me. Okay, that's what he does. Not only the 2020, give me all the years. Now that I have those two, I have those one added to this one. So I have a huge vector with all of them together mixed up. Looks like a mess, but it really isn't. It's very elegant because I'm putting all of those and I'm putting, you might do it differently, but the idea is important. And then after I get all that together, I call them matches. Okay, so I have all those records. That's not a trivial exercise, by the way. Okay, now I'm building the matches. So now, see the matches, I'm doing a loop. I'm going over each one of them. Stage number one, I'm checking if the year is 0 because this is my 0 vector. And if I find the vector 0, I am adding it. If you can tell, this one, it is really this dictionary. So I'm making a dictionary and I'm putting only the one for year 0. In another word, I just didn't want to run this twice. I could have run it only for the year 0 and then just put the whole things there. But since I put everything, I'm filtering with the year 0. In another word, I'm really putting in this dictionary all the account in the vector 0. That's really what this one does, okay? And the m.account.id, give me the ID of the account from the table of the accounts this time, not the match, the account itself. So in another word, my dictionary, in the end of the day, after this command, will have the dictionary will have ID of the account and will have two values, will have a list with two values. One, the account name in the match, and the accounting standard, is it a US GAAP, is it whatever in the match I found. I break it down to two, blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is I'm getting a dictionary for every account in the match. I'm keeping those two values. What is the standard accounting and what the name have given behind the scene. In another word, let's show it to you so you can really appreciate it. I have this match account table. So now what I do is I go over this table and each one of those ones that you see here, I have cash and cash equivalent. It has a number in the table of the accounts. I take that number in another word. Let's open another one. So you can really, this is really worth the exercise. It's not easy stuff. It's the real stuff. This is really what the big guys do. You go into the account. In here, we have a number, the ID. You see the number here, everybody? Cash and cash equivalent. This is the number in this table. That's what I care. This is the number. That's what I put in the dictionary. These two, I match it. I go to this part when everything is 0. I look at the cash and cash equivalent. What do I have here now? By the way, look at the table here. We have two columns. One is the standard and one the name the company has given. So I'm building up the dictionary for this company in a very smart way. And I'm saving so much space on the hard disk and making it work so fast. Because what this one does now, it takes the ID, that's really what it does. It goes from the match, it goes to the account, it goes and get the ID. They put it in this empty dictionary. It goes one by one and it's filling it up. And the only things I'm putting is really those two columns that coming from the match for that industry. The end of the day, I have a dictionary with all the items that I have a match for that industry. So in another word, all what I have in the end of the day by here, I have a match for the industry of Apple or Omnicell because they are in the same industry. Second, now we're going more specific. I want to go for every year, for every M in matches. So remember, we're doing matches for every year. every company, Omnicell has different tagging every year. So I want to go off for every year. So the first year will be 2020, let's say. Okay? He's going over all of those and he does the same exercise. But this time, he goes and look for whatever it says account receivable net, he goes to the table, look for that index, and he replaces, since A is coming next, he goes first of all, by the way, he's starting from 2020, yeah? If you follow up the way I did the years, I made it sorting up from 2020 backward. It's very tricky, this part that I did here. Very important. So I did it in a smart way. So you always start from 2020. And if the company has years before, you will go and sort them backward. That's what I did here. So you always start from 2020. If the company is, let's say, their year of interest, it's above 2020, then it goes from that year, the beginning to that year, and then it's already automatically, the range does it the right way. It's a little tricky, but that's a detail. Okay, you do it once and you forget what the hell is it. You forget about it. But the key point here for us, see how I do it. In fact, I did several versions until I came up with the right way. So the next stage is start going year by year. So I start with 2020. For 2020, it goes over all the matches. What are the matches for the 2020 for company Omnicell? Is those four. Only going for all those four. That's five, in fact. So it's those five. Okay. It goes the first one. Let's say you get account receivables. You know the index. And this is really what is nice. In a dictionary, if I already had this already done in the dictionary for the industry, this is going to override it. It's like putting the vector on top of the other vector. If I talk mathematics. For programmers, I say it replaces the index. If the index already existed here. But if the index doesn't exist, it will add it. So it is all replacing or adding to the industry for this specific company. Why? This specific company, because I added the company ticker. So by the end of the day, it does for 2020. It's done with 2020. What does it have now? Let's say it finished the 2020. It has a new vector. And now I want to replace that vector for 2019, if I have. And the truth of the matter, we don't have 2019, so it will skip that year. It will go to 2018. Hey, what happened to, in fact, this is a very good example, because the company in 2018 have replaced the ticker. You see that? It's very interesting. So for 2018, he's giving me a different vector, which is really beautiful. He gave me a different vector. That's pretty cool. It really is very cool. And then he's replacing the whole things up to the last one that he has here, 2013. I don't have anything before, so he will ignore 2012 because everything is already for 2012 exists, so he doesn't have to worry about it. This is cool. This is not an easy stuff to do. This is really, really, really hard. Okay, we got the dick match for every account, and then when I'm done with all of those, okay, that becomes to be the index part. I have to know if it's income statement or balance sheet, and I added something else here. I will explain that. This I added today. Okay, you will know if it's income statement or balance sheet, and then you start putting everything for all the accounts. Now I'm going over all the accounts. This is the one that we collected data. We might not have all of them because maybe some account weren't relevant for that company. But now I have to go over all of them. That's why I go over the accounts. And for all the accounts, I do not want to know if I do have a match or I don't have a match. Okay? So I'm going over all the accounts. Okay? And check if I have a match. If I have a match, I put it here. I call it a new dictionary, I think I made. Yeah, I call it that way. And I made another account, which I use later on. And now I go over all the accounts. If I have a match, I will add it. If not, I just add empty. But I'm returning to JavaScript all the accounts. The one that has a match will get it. The one that don't have a match will just be empty. Secondly, this is really important. I'm adding to this other dictionary which account are flow, which account are balance sheets, because when we collect the data, we need to do that. It's very important. That's a hard one. I might skip for today to be too hard for you in one day. But that's what we'll use later on. I myself get lost of what I do sometimes, but that's why I try to be so organized. So organized. You have no idea. You have to, otherwise you get totally lost. And that's why we have type 1 and type 2, if you remember, Brenda, when we did the accounts.
The balance sheet and the income statement.
Exactly. We did for the balance sheets 1 and for the income statement, the flow. That one I call flow. By the way, I added today another column for statements because it might be a flow and it's not an income statement because it might be a statement of cash flow. So for now, I'm just putting other, okay? And later on, I will play with it, okay? But this is the time to start. I already built that table a long ago, but today I start playing with it. And I explain to you why I was playing with it, okay? And so let's go back to here. So all the job of that one is really collecting the stuff, whatever we're putting in the database, to be part of this dictionary called account. We're going to use it. We need to use it. Okay? So what do we have in there? And then I added this one a little harder. I added another 2 statements. Is it in the income statement? Is it in the balance sheet? And I might add statement of cash flow. I'm not sure. I might build up the statement of cash flow as a difference between the balance sheets. Okay? But I want to think about it. For now, that's what we have. So we're getting the whole things here. It's coming back as a match report, and believe it or not, so in the accounts I'm returning, by the way, for accounting standard. I won't get into that for you as if it has only one standard. Otherwise, you will really go totally lost. But this is a very important function, which I use for every year. If you look at that, it takes a year and a ticker and SIC code. The industry of the company, for every year I do it, and for every company. And that's very important because if the year I'm doing it's 2017, I don't go back to 2012, I stop to add to the vector. If I go up to 2012, then I have to do all the years and then I will accumulate them, okay? It's not a simple trick, it really is not simple. But this is a very important function, although it looks so naive, but I use it in a much more complex function. Now I want to collect the data. I'm not going to go over that today. It's a really hard one. This one, it really literally goes to, by the way, when you see here on the bottom, I print the output. Okay? It knows by the SIC code, by the ticker, it literally goes to here, read the financials, it reads that, scrap it, it's called scraping professionally, pull up the address of this one this time. The truth of the matter, we collect the magic was this one, as you know, but when he's reading the data, I'm making a different trick. I'm doing a better trick. Okay? I'm reading it right from here. But that's a different things. So if you go here and then after it goes to here, you find this one. Now this one looks like Chinese. That's called XBRL. That's the one that those guys were talking about. Now he has to go and look at how long it is, my God. And he has to go and match those ones that we found. So let's take as one example, okay? Let's look for which company we did here. No, this one I need. It's a beautiful stuff, by the way. It really is beautiful stuff. Let's look for, which company did I do? I think Omni. At that cost, now this is will be the, that's supposed to be the ticker. You will find it several times. Yeah, why it doesn't like me? Which company did I do? Which company is it? No, this is Apple. I did it for Apple. And which one do I have? Do I have another one after that? Yeah, here we go. I think this is the one I need. Is that right? Yeah, this is the Omni. Let's go to this one. Let's close those two. Okay, say it's, here you can tell they're using a different ticker for that. Okay, then I go to here, I have to go to this one, and it does the whole thing automatically for me. That's the beautiful. So now, if I go to Omni, I have to go to Omni, take this one, copy, it goes to here, and let's look for it. What the heck? Control V. I should get it. Oh, what happened? Am I on the Omni? Yeah. 31. Maybe I'm in the wrong year. I think so. No, yeah, I am in the wrong year. I'm in 2013. I should have used. If I wanted really cost of revenue, but let's use something else. Let's use intangibles. So I use something from 2013, and I'm looking for a statement, which is 2020. Control F, Control V. Here we go. And I thought you'll find many of them. Which one should I pull? That's not an easy exercise. That's what it has a context reference. And that's why I wrote the whole procedures to find exactly the number. By the way, look at this number, 16821, or should I take 12? Both of them is the same. Both of them you can see US GAAP. So which one is the right one? I need to find the context, and I did it, okay? Now, if you go to our program, and you go to the data here, I think which one was that? Goodwill? Which one did we look for? Yeah, Goodwill. You look at the Goodwill, here we go, Goodwill. I got 499. Which company am I? I always get lost here. Hold a
As
second.
intangibles, I think.
That's the Omni. That's the Omni cell. And no, I'm looking fine. This is the 2020. No, 2020. I'm getting 499,309.
It was intangibles, doctor.
I was looking for intangible. You're right.
Yeah.
You see, we're getting the same number. But why did I pick 168? I didn't pick the second one. See, both of them is the same ticker. They have a context reference. You see that? This context reference is the right one. How do I know? Because I know how to find it. You know, if you take this context reference, what is the context reference? And you'll find out millions of them. You'll have a lot of them. I say 170. That conference number exists somewhere. And this is the way whoever understands XBRL knows how to find this part. And I do. And this one tells me this is for 2020 ending up in 1231, and that's really what I want. And for this entity that have the SIC, the C code, this one. Therefore, the XBRL is defining a reference. All the data for that year, for that company, will have attached to this context. It's pretty cool. It's very, very cool. But you have to know how to find it. It's not a simple exercise. So the whole code, in fact, honestly, most of the hard code in this exercise was finding the right context number. So if you go to here and you follow my code, this is easy, this is easy. This part is getting really hard because, now where is it? I forgot. Where did I put it? No, it's not this one. Did I have something else before that? Oh, I showing that somewhere here. Context, hold a second, Control F, context. Yeah, here we go. This is the hard part. It should be part of this function. Yeah, this function is crazy. This is the hardest function. This is hard to do. So I had to break it to pieces and check it so well. Make sure there is not something else inside. And if it's a balance sheet, it's different context than income statement. And that's why I needed to do that. That's not an easy one. That's, by the way, this is what takes most of the time of running this. When you're typing in something here and waiting, you're really waiting mostly to find the context number. And the context number, without this, you cannot go anywhere. And by the way, doing it the right way, the way I am doing it, I found errors for the SEC. Because, and how did I know that they have errors? Because when I closed it. When we go to this one here, the numbers they have here, they are not always matched. Even the numbers here, 99% of the time or more even, they do. They don't match the numbers that they have in this document. That's a shame. Institution like SEC should not allow it. Now, how did I know that? Why did even I check? Because I saw the way they wrote the code. When you look at the way they wrote the code, I wrote it differently, but I have no choice. I cannot, if I were working for them, I would have changed their code. If you go and look at their code and you go here, now this is you really have to, now you guys, you do know. You know, if you look at this line and you know what the language called XSLT, that, you know, these guys were mixing up two technologies. I bet you. And if you use this one, you don't need this one. You literally don't need this one. Now, I use it because it's convenient for me to steal the matching. But after they have done that one, and they start, most likely they have changed to this technology later on, they have not updated those ones. They should have. There are some changes. I discovered few. Not that many, but few. But that's a shame. If you look at mine, I throw away, first of all, this is a stupid programming. You know why? Because when you look at it, they made an array, and all the array is the same things. The only difference is the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's very stupid. All what you need to do is just keep this one and say up to which number you're going. Here you're going up to 100, 101, 100 plus 1 for the all. There's no need for that. Now, if you look at my code, you'll see that's the way I did it. And it works perfect. If you look at mine, in mine, I'm not sure you can see it because the way I write. You won't see that R. You see that? Let me see if I can find the XSLT. Control F, XSLT. Here we go. Very funny, isn't it? You see the way I stole it? I didn't copy their stupid code because it's stupid. I do know when I read their stupid things, I just know how to go and go up to here and know what the highest number. I pick up the number and copy it to myself. And when I write my code, I just plug it with the 100. So I don't need their stupid. You got it? I'm not really just taking their code the way it is, and that's it. The truth of the matter, I notice all their code on the top is the same up to here. From here, they're changing it depending how many records they have, which is stupid. All the other functions are the same. So I copied almost the whole things. Wherever it has to be changed, I did. Okay? I just changed it accordingly. And I did a much better program. Much, much better. And then in those functions, that's the place I put the editor. You got it? It's pretty cool. Very, very cool. And that's why we can have something even better than that did. Hopefully, I need to read those two patents. But from your point of view, bottom line, every company have an industry. The industry we have to put their matching for the industry. So when we do the next company in the industry, we start from that default one. So far, so good? Okay, Liam, I repeat it. For every industry, we have to have a vector or a list, you can call it if you want. Industry number, already I gave it to as a company name, okay? But they don't have any years, but because we're using only 2020. So for every industry, we will have a list or a vector. That's number one. Number two, for every company in the industry, in the same industry, like Omnicell or Apple. I don't know if the other one was Apple. No, this is not Apple. Which one? No, this is just a list. Omnicell or Apple, we will have a small list for every year this time, going backward. So for 2020, we will update the industry vector. For 2019, there is no change. 2018, we will update the 2020. For 2016, 2017 will be the same as 2018. So 2016 will take the 2018, will update whatever extra. So for every year, we will have a vector with all the accounts, depend on which kind of ticker they are using. Everybody got it? That's a very hard one. It's not an easy one. That's why I'm recording it. You should really listen to it again and again. The end of the day, when I'm finished with an industry, we'll have one vector 0, and for every company that made some changes to the default, we'll have some account. And we already have the functions that will make as if we have for every company, for every year, all the accounts, what's supposed to be matched. Got it?
Yes.
That's number one. That's very important. Now, there's many industries. You can go and look it up. You go here, we have many, many industries, by the way. Let's refresh. A lot of them. We need a vector for each one of them. So what we will do, we can just pick one of them. We get a list of companies. There's only two here. In fact, it seems to me they say, by the way, no, it's two different ones. By the way, I think we did good year, didn't we? Brenda? Did we do good year? I don't know if we did. I don't remember. Let's try.
Oh, we did.
I don't know. And I think they have a problem with the data. They don't have data. We'll see in a second. It's downloaded. Okay, I will tell you in a minute if we did it or not. If I did it on my computer more correctly. The beautiful part is we have to go over all the industries, and that's why you have to be so good. And make sure that we pick up one of the companies. Try to get the biggest, the one that you do know, if you know a company. Goodyear, it's a big company. By the way, most of the companies you see here, they are big. They're all traded in the stock exchange. So let's see if it's done. Not yet. By the way, that matching takes a lot of time. It's not a simple one. There's a lot of very, and I measure the timing, by the way. I measure the timing. Pulling the data, I did it in a very smart way. It's a technology I haven't taught you yet. Here we go. We got the data. Let's see. Yeah, we got some data. In fact, we might have done it. You see, I think I remember doing it. Okay? Which industry are they? 3011. Do I have 3011? Let's go here. Let's go. Which table do we want to match? Let's go to the match. Do we have 3011? No, I don't see it. You see, we don't have it. But I already have played with it. I think I did play with it. I probably played with it before I even developed the whole things. But what the nice thing, this is the old data, and this is the data we collected. Let's go for the 2020 for now. Okay, I click on the financial statement. You guys can review, maybe we made goodwill and other. No, this is for, we don't want to touch it. We don't want to touch it. I usually even take that one away. But let's leave it for now. It's on my computer. Earning per share, it's there. Beautiful. Okay, let's say I'm not changing anything. By the way, there is a count that we do. What did ever share outstanding here? We do that one that. That's important number. I will go over that one with you guys as we go along. Minority interest, no, we don't need it here. But that one, we do need that number. And it doesn't really count because I need to do it on the server, not here. So here we have cash, goodwill, intangibles, taxes, other assets, I don't care. Property, plant, and equipment, I do want. Here we go. I'm adding compensation, blah, 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 blah. You know what? I won't even waste my time because it's my computer. Okay. Now, the beautiful part is if I go to, where did I didn't really pick up that company. Which company we said it's called Goodyear? Let's go and find Goodyear. Goodyear. Good. Goodyear. Yeah, I just saw it. Which one did we do? The first one. This one, isn't it? Anybody can help? This one, isn't it?
Yes.
This one, isn't it? Good. Okay, we have all the data. You see, it's all set 2020. but I don't have an industry. So what I would do, we don't really have to check it. I mean, for you, I'm showing it to you. When I click on it, it will tell me, okay, meaning if I go here and refresh, I will see nothing. Goodyear tire for the other years, the 2020, they are gone. Okay? Whatever there was in 2020, they are gone. But which industry is that? I'm surprised. Goodyear tire. No, hold a second. Why do I get that one? Goodyear and tire. Which company did we got? I'm lost. Goodyear tire and rubber. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. And he kept the 18, which makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. He kept something here because you already have found it. It's probably existed there. That's why he didn't put it. That's why I wrote the function. But now you can tell from the right side, you have 3011. You see 3011? You see that, guys?
Yes.
It wasn't there before. He took all the stuff for 2020 and put it. Now I have a default for the industry. How can I prove it to you that I do have a default for the industry without going to the database? Very, very simple. You know which industry is that? Tires and inner rubbers. Let's refresh. Let's go into here. Tires and inner rubbers. Is that right? What is it? Come on, be nice to me. Anybody see tires? I just found, yeah, here we go. Okay. Which companies do I have? I have only two. But by the way, do you see added one? I need to remove it. Because that's the industry. We didn't have it before. Let's go for the second company. This is the one we did. Is that right? Which one? We did good with. Let's do someone that we never did before. What's going to happen now, guys? What do you say, Liam? Will we be able to pull data or not?
We will,
Yeah, why?
because we save the information generally.
Because we have the default for the 3011. You will put the data for all the accounts we have in the 3011. We did it once for the here. By the way, if I go to the Russia poly, there will be some. You see, even there is already. See how many already have done automatically, beautifully. It saved me so much time. I did this for the Goodyear, and the Goodyear have a lot in common with the industry. That's why I chose it to be the default for the industry. And now, when I go to here, I get a hell of a lot of the data. Oh, maybe I'm missing some, and that's the time to go here and fill up. But most of the work already have done for me. I just need to check if gross profit, I didn't have here, so I will choose gross profit. Anybody see? Yeah, here we go, gross margin. I will just go over the stuff that maybe are operating profit. I do really want it to be here, operating profit. They have changed. So this is what I couldn't collect, but my life is much easier. Most of the stuff are there. Okay, taxes and net income attributable to non-controlling shareholders in. By the way, this one we will collect eventually. I didn't add it to the list. I will eventually. Basic, this one is done. This is beautiful. You see, that goes much faster. Then I go to the balance sheet. Did I miss something here? Account receivable, it's there. Okay, it's much easier. Inventory is there. Current assets. Other current assets, I can, but it will fill it up automatically anyway. This one, I can even remove it. Land, buildings, all of those we don't really need that much. Machinery and equipment. This one should be like the property, plant and equipment. But since it has total here, I will choose this one, property, plant and equipment, okay? Or it might have used different than what Goodyear have done. So I'm only making sure that I might, okay? By the way, this is not the one I will use. I'll remove it by, I will use the net. This is the one we should use, really. Property, plant and equipment, net. That's why I wrote net here. And Goodyear, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful total assets, short-term borrowing, all this stuff. But that's not the objective of this discussion. That's what we'll talk some other time. By the way, they do have preferred stock, which maybe a Goodyear did not have. Equity, by the way, it should have preferred stock somewhere here. Yeah, here we go, preferred stock. Common stock, they might have used something else. So I have to use that one. Now it's collecting the right ticker for them. That's beautiful. But it makes my life so much easier than having to do the whole thing from scratch. Got it? Everybody happy so far?
Yes.
Now, by the way, if I go, where is that one that I made? Where's that one? The Goodyear? Let's refresh here. No, I don't want Goodyear. I want, by the way, which one was the other one? Good something? What was it? What's the name of that company we just did? Cooper Tire. Let's choose Cooper Tire. What are we supposed to see there? In the Cooper Tire, we'll see only the one that we changed from the industry. Cooper, anybody see Cooper? Cooper. Cool. There's so many companies, my God. Cooper. Oh, come on. Yeah, I need to add a search engine. Cooper. Cooper. Here we go. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is the one we changed. That's cool. Got it? Brenda?
Yes.
Beautiful. Boy, Michael, you surviving?
Yes, bit
How
by
about you,
bit.
Liam? Surviving, Liam?
Yes, but I need to go. I have something I need to do.
Yeah, no problem. In fact, we're going to stop here. We can't really continue. I think you should watch that video, but make sure you really have that understanding. And next time we will talk about how do we make a default for the industry. Okay, because now we made a company, we turn it to default of the industry. Now I don't want to do that. I want, when I pick up a company, the industry default will start from a default from kind of an average of all the other industries that we already have done. That will be really cool. That was the exercise I talked about yesterday or the day before. Okay, why don't Brenda, just set up some other time. You guys meet before me for half an hour to an hour before I join you. Discuss that, make sure you are all the same page, and then I will join and we'll talk about the next stage. Okay?
Okay.
Have a good one. Thank you, guys. I will send you a link to the video.